Welcome to the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Prepcast, where we guide you through everything you need to know for your certification exam. Whether you're just starting or looking to refine your knowledge, this course will set you up for success. Brought to you by baremetalcyber.com. Let's get started. When people think about globalization, they often think of products and services reaching across borders. But the real challenge is often communication. Language barriers can slow down collaboration, make customer support frustrating, and limit the reach of online platforms. Amazon Translate steps in to address this problem by offering fully managed neural machine translation through simple APIs. The service allows developers to automatically translate text between dozens of supported languages, enabling real-time conversations or batch processing of large document sets. Unlike traditional dictionary-based systems, Translate uses advanced models that consider context, so translations flow more naturally and sound closer to how people actually speak. This helps organizations expand quickly without building language infrastructure from scratch. Translate operates in both real-time and batch modes, depending on the needs of your application. Real-time translation is useful when speed matters. Think of a chat application where users type in their native languages but still communicate seamlessly. Batch translation, on the other hand, is better suited for larger projects, such as translating an entire library of technical documentation. This flexibility ensures that the same service can power both high-speed interactions and deep, large-scale workflows. For learners, the important point is that AWS designs its AI services with multiple operating modes, allowing you to match performance and cost to your specific use case rather than forcing one rigid approach. One of the strengths of Translate is its support for custom terminology. This feature allows you to supply specific terms or phrases that must be translated in a particular way. For example, a company might want its product name always preserved in English, or ensure that technical terms are consistently translated in a way that reflects its brand identity. Without this, automatic translation might create inconsistencies that confuse customers or dilute a brand. Custom terminology makes sure that domain-specific language stays accurate across every translation job, which is especially important in industries like healthcare, law, or engineering, where precision is non-negotiable. Parallel data is another feature that helps improve translation outcomes. It lets you provide pairs of source and target sentences so the system can learn how you prefer certain expressions to be translated. Think of it as biasing the engine toward your style or industry vocabulary. For instance, a marketing agency could supply parallel sentences to ensure that creative slogans are rendered with the right tone across multiple languages. This feature illustrates how Translate balances the efficiency of a managed service with the ability to tailor outputs, giving users more influence without requiring them to train models from scratch. The service's wide language coverage makes it broadly applicable in global contexts. Translate supports dozens of languages and automatically figures out translation direction, so you don't have to specify whether you're going from Spanish to English or vice versa. It just works. This reduces friction in building multilingual applications where input languages may not always be predictable. For example, an e-commerce site accepting user reviews could seamlessly translate all of them into a single target language for analysis. Automatic direction recognition helps organizations focus on outcomes rather than setup details, which is a hallmark of managed cloud services. Translate is also capable of handling structured content like HTML and XML, which is crucial for real-world applications. Translating plain text is straightforward, but many business documents and web pages include tags, formatting, or embedded metadata. Translate respects these structures so that after translation the document still displays correctly. For example, a knowledge base article written in English with HTML headers and links can be translated into French without breaking its structure. This consideration makes Translate not just a tool for raw language conversion, but also a practical service for production environments where presentation and formatting matter. Quality assurance in translation often involves human oversight, and Translate fits into this process as well. Post-editing loops allow human reviewers to check automated outputs, refine them, and then feed improvements back into the workflow using custom terminology or parallel data. This creates a virtuous cycle where translations become more consistent and aligned with organizational standards over time. The balance of machine speed and human judgment is particularly important in sensitive areas such as legal documents or medical guidelines, where nuance can have significant consequences. Translate acknowledges that automation does not replace expertise, but rather amplifies it. Integration is one of Translate's key strengths. Translations can be triggered automatically when documents are uploaded to S3, routed through Lambda functions for additional processing, and even delivered through CloudFront Edge locations for low-latency global access. For example, a news publisher could have articles translated the moment they are posted, and then distributed to readers worldwide with minimal delay. This ability to slot into broader AWS pipelines makes Translate not just a language tool, but a building block in distributed, automated applications. It embodies the principle of cloud-native workflows, services working together seamlessly to achieve complex outcomes. Security is essential when dealing with sensitive or proprietary content, and Translate leverages AWS's broader security model. IAM roles can tightly control who is allowed to use the service, while encryption ensures that translation artifacts are protected at rest and in transit. For companies translating confidential documents, such as contracts or internal reports, these safeguards are critical to maintaining trust and compliance. As always, AWS manages the infrastructure security, but it remains the customer's responsibility to configure roles and permissions wisely. This echoes the broader theme of the shared responsibility model in cloud services. Pricing for Translate is based on the number of characters processed, which makes it straightforward to estimate costs. Whether you are translating a single sentence or an entire library of manuals, the model is predictable. You pay for exactly the volume of text you run through the service. This transparency encourages experimentation and allows organizations to scale up without worrying about hidden costs. For learners, the lesson is that AWS consistently aligns AI services with consumption-based pricing, lowering barriers to entry while still supporting enterprise-scale use cases. Sometimes the goal is not full translation, but simply identifying the language of a given text. Translate supports this too, letting you detect languages before deciding whether to translate them. This is especially useful in scenarios like multilingual surveys or support tickets, where you need to sort content by language before further action. By distinguishing between language detection and translation, Translate offers flexibility without forcing unnecessary processing, which can save both time and cost. It is another reminder that cloud services are designed to meet users where they are, not force rigid workflows. Translate is also engineered to handle scaling and throughput effectively. Whether you are translating in real time for a chat application or processing millions of documents in batch, the service can flex to meet demand. Behind the scenes, AWS provisions the resources necessary to keep response times predictable, even under heavy load. For organizations, this means translation becomes a dependable utility rather than a bottleneck. The scalability aligns with the broader AWS promise of elasticity: pay for what you need, scale up when demand spikes, and avoid the risks of overbuilding infrastructure yourself. Multilingual content workflows are where Translate shows its full potential. Imagine a global support system where users submit tickets in dozens of languages, but support staff only read English. Translate bridges the gap, making it possible for a single team to serve a worldwide audience efficiently. Conversely, outbound communications such as policy updates or newsletters can be written once and then translated for every region automatically. This ability to unify communication across linguistic boundaries is a force multiplier for businesses, governments, and educational institutions alike. Finally, Translate includes compliance and data handling settings to help organizations meet regulatory obligations. Whether it is ensuring that sensitive data is encrypted, restricting access through IAM, or aligning with data residency requirements, Translate operates within the governance frameworks that enterprises expect. For learners, the important message is that language services are not only about convenience, but also about responsibility. Using Translate effectively means balancing technical capability with ethical and regulatory awareness, ensuring that multilingual communication is both powerful and respectful of user rights. From an exam perspective, the key cue is simple. Translate is AWS's managed service for fast, scalable text localization. If the scenario involves turning text from one language into another quickly, whether in real time or batch, Translate is the answer. Its hallmark features custom terminology, parallel data, and broad language coverage. Distinguish it from building your own translation system. The goal is to empower organizations to expand across borders with minimal effort, turning language from a barrier into a bridge. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. If Translate gives us the ability to localize text, Amazon Transcribe gives us the ability to capture spoken language and turn it into text that can be stored, searched, and analyzed. The service uses automatic speech recognition, often shortened to ASR, to convert audio into written form. This is useful in countless scenarios, from customer service calls to video captioning to compliance archiving. The power of Transcribe lies in making speech data actionable. Instead of being locked in audio recordings that are hard to review, conversations become searchable documents. This shift opens up insights that organizations would otherwise miss, turning conversations into a resource for analytics, quality assurance, and even training. Transcribe supports both batch and streaming transcription modes, depending on the situation. Batch transcription allows you to upload recordings, such as call logs or meetings, and receive transcriptions back in a structured format. Streaming transcription, on the other hand, processes speech in real time, producing text as words are spoken. This is ideal for applications like live subtitling or instant transcription for accessibility services. The dual modes reflect a pattern we have seen in other AI services: flexibility in how workloads are processed, giving organizations tools for both retrospective analysis and immediate responsiveness. Each mode has different cost and performance considerations, but together they cover the spectrum of needs. Language identification plays an important role in transcription. Audio can come from multilingual environments where speakers switch languages or where the language is unknown ahead of time. Transcribe includes automatic language detection, ensuring that the right models are applied to the speech. This is critical for global companies that might field support calls from multiple regions. The service can also handle multi-language audio, producing transcriptions that reflect the different languages spoken. In practice, this removes the need to pre-sort recordings by language, reducing operational overhead and making the system more adaptable to real-world diversity. To ensure accuracy in specialized domains, Transcribe offers custom vocabulary. This lets you add terms that are specific to your organization, industry, or products. For example, a medical provider might upload a vocabulary containing complex drug names, while a software company might add technical jargon or acronyms unique to its products. Without this customization, transcription might stumble on unfamiliar words, leading to errors. By extending the vocabulary, you guide the service to recognize critical terms correctly. This makes the difference between a usable transcript and one that misses the meaning of key passages. Another tool for refinement is the vocabulary filter feature. This allows you to mask or remove specific words from transcriptions, often for compliance or brand reasons. For instance, a company might want to block offensive terms from appearing in final transcripts or prevent sensitive phrases from being recorded. Vocabulary filters can also be used for anonymization, helping to protect privacy by obscuring certain terms. These filters add a layer of control, allowing organizations to shape transcription outputs in line with their values and regulatory requirements. Speaker diarization is one of Transcribe's most practical capabilities. It enables the system to identify and separate different speakers within the same audio file. Imagine a call between a customer and a support agent. Diarization can label which parts belong to which person. Similarly, channel identification is useful for multi-channel recordings, such as call center systems that record customer and agent voices on separate lines. Together, these features make transcripts much more readable and useful. Instead of a wall of undifferentiated text, the result is a clear, attributed conversation that can be analyzed and acted upon. Details matter in transcription, and Transcribe pays attention to them by including timestamps, punctuation, and formatting. This means that every word or phrase is aligned with its place in time, making it easy to locate sections of interest within the audio. Proper punctuation improves readability, transforming raw word streams into coherent sentences and paragraphs. For legal, medical, or compliance use cases, accurate timestamps are indispensable, as they allow reviewers to jump to exact moments in recordings. These small touches demonstrate how transcription is more than just writing down words. It is about producing documents that are practical and usable. Handling sensitive information is another important aspect of transcription. Transcribe includes content redaction features for personally identifiable information, such as credit card numbers or addresses. This allows organizations to automatically mask sensitive segments before transcripts are stored or shared. For industries such as healthcare and finance, this is essential to maintaining compliance and safeguarding customer trust. By automating redaction, organizations reduce the risk of human oversight and speed up workflows, ensuring that sensitive data does not slip through the cracks during large-scale transcription projects. Specialized versions of Transcribe extend its utility further. Amazon Transcribe Medical is tuned for healthcare scenarios, where vocabulary and phrasing are highly specific. It is designed to recognize medical terminology accurately in doctor-patient conversations or clinical dictations. Transcribe Call Analytics, by contrast, is aimed at customer service environments, where it can not only transcribe, but also highlight trends like sentiment or key issues. These specialized offerings show how AWS adapts its base technology for distinct industries, reducing the need for users to fine-tune systems themselves. It underscores the theme of managed services. Let AWS handle the heavy lifting while you focus on outcomes. When transcription jobs are complete, outputs are typically stored in Amazon S3 in JSON format. This makes them easy to integrate with other services for storage, search, or analysis. A company could use Athena to query transcribed call records, or QuickSight to visualize trends over time. The use of JSON also means results can be parsed by applications automatically, fitting into broader workflows without requiring manual handling. This design demonstrates the tight integration between AI services and AWS's data ecosystem, turning raw audio into structured data that is instantly usable. Integration opportunities extend beyond storage. For example, Amazon Connect, AWS's cloud contact center service, can tie directly into Transcribe to provide live transcriptions of calls. Media applications can use it to generate captions or searchable transcripts for videos. By embedding transcription into existing platforms, organizations enhance accessibility, compliance, and user engagement. This shows how Transcribe is not just a standalone tool but a building block for richer, more intelligent applications across industries. Security practices for Transcribe align with AWS's broader framework. Input and output files can be encrypted using Key Management Service, while IAM roles and policies control who can initiate jobs or access results. For organizations dealing with sensitive recordings, such as legal proceedings or patient consultations, this ensures that transcription fits within strict compliance requirements. As always, AWS secures the infrastructure, but it remains the customer's responsibility to configure access controls and storage policies carefully. Trust in transcription services is as much about governance as it is about technical accuracy. Pricing for Transcribe follows a pay-as-you-go model, usually billed per minute of audio processed. Different rates apply depending on whether you are using batch transcription, streaming transcription, or specialized options like medical analysis. This model makes it easy to start small and scale as demand grows. Organizations must still monitor usage, particularly for streaming applications where continuous transcription can accumulate costs quickly. The predictability of per-minute pricing simplifies forecasting, but thoughtful monitoring ensures that costs remain in line with business value. Quality monitoring is a crucial part of using Transcribe effectively. Even the best models can benefit from tuning, which is why AWS provides tools to track performance and adjust vocabularies over time. By analyzing transcripts for errors and refining custom vocabularies, organizations can steadily improve accuracy. This feedback loop mirrors the process seen in Translate, where human oversight and machine learning work hand in hand. For learners, the key takeaway is that transcription is not a fire-and-forget process. It benefits from ongoing care to reach its highest potential. From an exam perspective, the memory cue is clear. Transcribe is AWS's speech-to-text service, equipped with features like custom vocabulary, vocabulary filters, speaker diarization, and content redaction. If a scenario describes converting spoken words into text for analysis, compliance, or accessibility, Transcribe is the right choice. It goes beyond raw transcription by offering industry-specific adaptations and integrations with other AWS tools. Think of it as the complement to Translate. One transforms speech into text, the other transforms text across languages. Together, they provide the foundation for multilingual, voice-enabled applications in the cloud. That concludes today's episode of the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Prepcast. Be sure to tune in for the next episode and visit us online at baremetalcyber.com or cyberauthor.me for more resources, including news, mailing lists, YouTube videos, podcasts, and much more.